who is your typical professional client? Are they 90% NBA? Are they the 20-year-old, the 25, the 30-year-old, or the one that's retired and just wants to be able to, play ball?
Without question, people who have, that their career is being, put in jeopardy by their knees is the most common. And funny enough, it's like a pretty even mixture of football, baseball, basketball, funny enough. Maybe more football and basketball than baseball, but even some of the top baseball players. So, almost all athletes are going through some issues of one kind or another, but funny enough, yeah, it's not more basketball than the others. I would have thought it would be just basketball, but it's pretty balanced.
And baseball, you don't. A lot of MMA guys too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They have to be bulletproof. So like my style of training is going to be more relative to an MMA fighter than powerlifting or Olympic lifting or strongman or bodybuilding, even though I use tools from all those. But every tool, I'm only looking at how does this bulletproof me? Because if I'm bulletproof, I can go run, throw. You can then do what you want to do. So I don't think of my system as a sport. It's very important for me that my system doesn't try to become a sport or compete with other systems, because then I could go into the same arbitraries of competing for the sport. So my sessions are 30 minutes long. I only train 30 minutes a day. That's it. Sometimes these sessions are 20 minutes because I'm in such good shape. So I'm just living that, and then people can do what they want with it. So for pro athletes, that's why it tends to be pretty conducive for anything, because I'm only setting up for them 20 to 30 minute sessions a week. That's nothing, in terms of time investment.
What's the typical reaction of a pro athlete you've been working with for 4 weeks? What do they say to you?
Knees feeling better, younger, younger as a common term, because we come to expect aging is real. So it's very easy to see how we could assume that all our pains have to do with aging, because aging is real, right? So I think that's a big one. Like even for myself, it's because it's whatever I'm experiencing is gonna be the same for someone else. And that's even what I keep noticing is like, how am I feel like even after all this time, like I'm feeling even younger. Like that workout just got even easier. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. That's probably the most common one. Less pain, able to go, harder, feeling younger.
And when you introduce the protocols, are they a little unsure? Like I was doing some of your stuff with my right knee, and I was just like, I hope he's right, because you're putting it over the toe for the first time in a while, and you get the initial signals that say, well, we told you not to do this a few years ago. But then, honestly, within a few sets, I was going much further. But do you get that reaction from people?
I think so to some degree, but I also take really painstaking efforts to lay it out in the right sequence. You know what I mean? So there's no rush on it. And if it's done in the right sequence, you kind of are able to get the result of one thing, and then like that makes sense, and then you go to the next thing. So if I were to, because again, I think it could work to jump someone into the, into the toughest stuff, but I don't see a reason to do that. So by really taking it from like zero and then like doing it from the ground up, each step kind of makes more sense and there's more trust. I would say back in the day when I didn't have it as polished, yeah, my job was half delivering and half mentally getting the person to try to do it. You see what I mean? That used to be a massive part of the job prior to going onto social media and just putting out all these regression tips. You know what I mean? And then my philosophy is like the way I train, I start from my toes and ankles. So every session I go from the ground up. So I don't just start in with the knee.
And so, yeah, like you're saying, back in the day, you kind of had to sell them on the IP to get them to believe in it, to even try it. These days, to a certain extent, your reputation precedes itself. So, and you're a better communicator. So now it's about them just actually doing the protocols a bit more.
Yeah, so much smoother. And again, because of the internet age and how easy you can start some of this stuff, so many people, again, they've already tried it. You know what I mean? Like they've already felt results. So whether they're signing up online or I'm seeing them, it's like they already have gotten some results from it. So it's almost, they almost put, like you did, they almost put themselves through that that process before I even got there. And I just consider that like, that's how investment works. And I don't know anything about investment. I just know the concept. Like, I don't know. I'm so streamlined on this. My wife is a business beast. She runs my business, not me. I focus on the investment of the training concept. So I understand that how hard I worked to figure out regressions that no one had ever used. That now is paying off. So I'm showing up and people they already have been through that process. They're already ready. Like, okay, let's do this. Like, they're already ready. You know what I mean?